Alrighty, everyone, welcome back. So, the Philadelphia Flyers, arguably one of the biggest surprises in the NHL this season. I bet nobody thought they were going to be as good as they are. I didn't think they'd be as good as they are. And now they're heading into the Christmas break. They still play a few more games in 2023. I'm not waiting until 2024 to make this video. But right now, they're above 500. They are currently second or third, depending on what happens tonight, in the Metropolitan Division. They're still battling with the Islanders for that place. But overall, they're doing very well right now. They're playing some very good hockey. However, some people have brought up, more specifically in my comment section, about maybe is this Flyers surprise season, is it going to affect them in the long term? Now, we're going to look at that today, but we're also going to look at what's happened so far this year and then discuss that. So, starting off now, we'll look at their overall team numbers. They have played 33 games played amongst all the teams in the National Hockey League. They won 18, 11, and 4 for 40 points. They are currently ninth in the NHL. Those numbers may change. As you can tell, that's not where we expect them to be at all. And I have it written down in my notes here. Nobody expected this. Nobody expected for the Philadelphia Flyers to come into the season and be in a playoff spot by Christmas. Nobody expected it. And the odds are that they're going to stay where they are. I'm not ruling it out of the possibilities that they could fall off. I'm not taking that fully out of the equation, but there is a decent chance that heading into the second half of the year, they will be in a playoff spot and they will make the playoffs this year in a season where nobody expected them to be. I can't tell you how many people, how many big content creators or big sports pages had the Flyers finishing 8th. Dead last in the Metro, some even dead last in the conference, and maybe even dead last in the NHL if you looked at the right people. There were people that were heavily doubting this Flyers team, and they proved them wrong this year. And I will say this, I have enjoyed every second of it. Even last night when we lost to Detroit 7-6, I enjoyed the hell out of that game because they make every game now entertaining. The team is actually fun to watch now. But now that I see people from Philadelphia starting to hop on us and start hopping on the wagon, now we're starting to lose games. I think it's connected, but regardless. Other stats here that you can look at. They have scored 101 goals over those 33 games and have let in 92. It's pretty good to have a positive goals average. That's pretty solid. Obviously, too, the power play has been god awful. I know it's been horrible. I've watched it. It's been literally the worst thing ever. They have a 10.58 power play percentage, and I have compared it, and I want you to take this without actually me being serious. I have compared it to watching your dog die, is what watching the Flyers power play is like. It is so painful to watch. It is, oh my God. But thankfully, the penalty kill is doing pretty good. It's ranked third in the league for an 85.71. Shockingly, the Flyers power play is not even the worst. The St. Louis Blues power play has been even worse, which is shocking considering the fact that we have a 10% power play. It has not been fun for us for our power play percentage. The Flyers are currently 8-7-1 at home, so the home record's been actually pretty much 500. But the road record, they've been road demons. They've been one of the teams who has played really well on the road. They are 10-4-3 when they're in the other team's arena. So they are someone to bet on. I do have a few concerns, and I don't want to go into it saying I'm not trying to say they're frauds. However, I'm a little bit concerned that a lot of their games are going to overtime. Now they are winning those games in overtime, so it's not like they're losing and racking up loser points. A lot of their games lately have gone to extra time, and that's mainly because they can't find guys who can score. I mean, yeah, we got players who are scoring right now. We got players who are doing really well, but we can't find someone who we can necessarily count on to score. Talk about you, Matvey Michkov. Come on over. But yeah, regardless, that has been something that I am a little bit concerned with. But apart from that, I feel like the team's playing really well. We're not getting outshot in these games. We're not getting heavily outplayed and then somehow winning them, and that's how we're 18, 11, and 4. No, I think we're playing really well. We're sticking in right with them. We're either outshooting them or we're shooting right up with them. I don't even think I've watched a game this year where we have been outshot. I don't think I have. I don't think I've watched a game this year where we've been heavily outshot by at least 5 or 10 more shots. We're really keeping these games close, and we've become a really hard team to beat. Maybe because a lot of teams might have taken us easily, or maybe because we're an actually good team. I don't really know. I would like to say we're a good team. I feel like we are, but there's still people that don't think we will. So we'll look at our scores now for the team. Travis Konechny leading the way with 33 games played, 16 goals, 11 assists, 27 points. He has cooled off a little bit, still playing really well, but he's cooled off a little bit from the start of the season. So I think Konechny still played really well. He's without a doubt our best player right now. Second in scoring, Travis Sanheim. He's been just insane. 32 games played, 4 goals, 20 assists, 24 points. He's racking up the assists. He scores goals when we need him to. Like in the game against Nashville a few weeks ago, he scores the tying goal to force us overtime. He's getting us goals when we need him. So I'll take it, to be honest with you. Sean Couturier then, 31 games played, 9 goals, 14 assists, 23 points. His return has been great, and I cannot express enough how great it's been for the Flyers that he's come back. I can't say it enough. And I think everyone in this video will agree with me. He has done so well for us since he's come back. It's absolutely awesome to see. Next up then, Joel Farabee, 33 games played, 11 goals, 11 assists, 22 points. It's good to see that he's doing well too, especially considering the fact that there were rumors that he might not even want to stay in Philadelphia last season, and now he's playing really well this year. So I think those rumors have pretty much gone away. So it's good to see that. And then also, too, Owen Tippett with 33 games played, 12 goals, 9 assists for 21 points. Yeah, I'm liking the way that the scoring's been. We have players who are scoring. It's not just one specific player who's playing really well. It seems like our main top 6 is playing really solid right now. And even the guys that I criticized at the start of the year are playing really well. Like Rasmus Ristolainen, I can't tell you how many times on camera I've criticized him just because, like, I never thought he was that good of a defensive defenseman, but this year he's been pretty solid. And I mean, like, we're playing him in the overtime pairings. We're playing him when it's a really important moment. Like, he's been playing really well. And I also want to say the Nick Seeler and Sean Walker pairing has got to be top 10 in the league. It has been honestly unreal for us. And that's why I think if come the trade deadline, and we'll get into this once I get through the rookies and the goalies, that, like, once the trade deadline comes along, I really do think that if Briere wants to sell, we could get a pretty good haul for a guy like Sean Walker. He's a real difference maker for our Flyers. So definitely I'm really liking the way Walker's playing. We'll go into the goalies next because I want to leave the rookies for the second half of this video. We'll look at Carter Hart. 18 games played, 9-6-2, a 2.62 goals against average, and a .913 save percentage. Last night, people were heavily criticizing Carter Hart after letting in 6 goals on what was about 30 shots. Yes, that is brutal. That is inexcusable. It's not a good look for Hart, but I don't really blame it on him. I think that overall, the team didn't play well in that first period. Yeah, there were some goals that Hart could have saved. Like the 6th goal was an absolute fluky goal, and Hart should have had it. And I don't really blame that on him. Sometimes fluke goals like that happen. But I mean, yeah, if he had made some of those saves and saved that 6th goal, I think we would have won that game 6-5. I honestly just really believe that. But it's unfortunate the way it went, but it's just how it is. I still think he's a good goalie. Obviously, too, it was his first game back since December 9th. So definitely, it's been a while since he's played. So I really don't blame him whatsoever on the fact that he let in 6 on like 30 shots. It really isn't his fault at all. I'm actually surprised they kept him in net. I'm not going to lie to you. I was kind of shocked that Tortorella didn't think to pull him. But as well as that, too, Urson has played 5 straight games up to that point and did play the night before. So got to factor that in. Speaking of which, backup Samuel Urson's done a pretty good job at Hart's exit. I don't even know what to call it. I'm losing my mind. 13 games played, 8-4-2, a 2.56 goals against average, and a .899 save percentage. He's been really good recently. Has got 2 shutouts on the year. I doubted Urson for a little bit, but he's lately been pretty good. So I'm going to give it to Urson. He's done a really solid job. So that's the overall team stats I want to go through. Now, I saw someone comment on my video when I looked at the Eastern Conference saying that, and I guess I went too in depth with my Flyers and said that I was really liking the year they were having. Someone said that that Flyers fans really need to embrace the fact that they're in a rebuild and they need to not be doing so well, and they should be a team that's really bad to get a high draft pick over a team that'll just lose in the first round. I don't disagree with him. I don't disagree that, like, if we make it to the playoffs, are we going to beat teams like the Avalanche? Are we going to beat teams like the Hurricanes, like the Rangers, like the Bruins? Maybe not, but crazier things have happened. I don't think anyone thought that Florida would have made the Cup Finals last year. I'm not saying that the Flyers will make the playoffs or they'll make the Cup Finals. I'm not saying that at all. But I mean, playoff hockey's playoff hockey. I mean, like, we've been playing really well lately that I think we could go into a playoff series and take on, like, a team like the Bruins and take them to 7 games. I really think we could with the way we play. I really think we could steal some games. Now, that's not what I want to talk about mainly. I want to talk about the long term because this year was supposed to be a rebuild year. We were supposed to be really bad this season, and, look for a high draft pick in the 2024 draft. And then don't get me wrong, I would have loved Macklin Celebrini. I would have loved Cole Eiserman. I would have loved Demidov. I would have loved Sam Dickinson because that's literally my last name, Dickinson. So I would have loved those things. But when I look at the overall core we're building and the overall roster, maybe we don't need a high draft pick. I mean, yeah, it would have been nice to fit him in with Cutter Gauthier and Matvei Michkov and all these guys we got coming up. I don't really think that this struggle is affecting us. Now, I want to look at the rookies who have played this season for the Philadelphia Flyers. There's been 3, I believe. I know a few guys have come up. Emil Andre's played a few games, but these are the guys who are currently on the roster and have played consistent amount of time with the team. First off, you got Bobby Brink. 28 games played, 6 goals, 10 assists, 16 points. Brink's done really good. The point production hasn't been there too much. 16 points is still really solid for a rookie. But the point production for a while wasn't really there, but it's going to come. It's going to come for sure. I think that he's played really well out there, giving himself a really good effort. And I think there's people who really enjoy him on Philadelphia. And I think that he's going to stay. He's been a really solid rookie for us, as expected. Tyson Foerster, too. I had my doubts a little bit when he was drafted and in the years before he made it to the NHL, but this year not really. 32 games played, 5 goals, 8 assists, 13 points. Those aren't bad numbers for him. These guys are good third liners, second liners who, they'll provide some secondary scoring for us right now. And I think they've done well where they're working their way up the lineup. And I know John Tortorella as well has had some criticism about the overall roster, and, he's received criticism about how he handles young players. He's done a really good job with Brink and Zamula and Forster and Emil Andre, who's come up into the system, and, other guys we've caught up. Like, I think he's done, like, Belpedo, too. I don't think he's a rookie, but we've done a really good job at handling the young players. I feel like their roles, they understand their roles, and they're doing a very good job with them. Yegor Zamula, 24 games played, 1 goal, 5 assists, 6 points. He's obviously a defenseman. There have been some mistakes here and there, but it's okay. He's a rookie. It's going to happen. So, I'm not really mad with the way we're playing. I think we're utilizing the rookies very well, and this is our future right here. Those rookies are our future. And it's not like I look at any part of this team right now and I say, yeah, that's like a concerning factor, besides maybe the blue line. Maybe the blue line, and maybe we want to get some better secondary scoring. Maybe that's some factors. But really, I don't see any look at this team right now that I'm very concerned with, besides maybe the defense. That's about it. And then obviously, too, once the NCAA is done, which it could be done very soon for some of these players, Massimo Rizzo and Cutter Gauthier could come right over. I'm not saying, there's been some doubt with Cutter Gauthier, but I think that once the year's done or heading into next season, they're going to come over. I think they're just taking time right now. And I think especially, too, they see the way the Flyers are playing, they're going to want to come over. If I'm Cutter Gauthier and I saw the Flyers playing really bad the last 2 seasons that I was with this Flyers organization, yeah, I'd be really concerned, and I probably wouldn't want to come over either. I really don't blame him whatsoever. But now that I see them doing really well and they're in a playoff spot, if they're in a playoff spot by the time Cutter Gauthier and Rizzo are done, why not come over? Try and get some time. Try and spend some time in the NHL. Try and help this team push for a playoff spot. Why not? And Cutter Gauthier is one of the more talented players right now in the NCAA and is arguably a top 5 affiliated prospect right now. So if we could get Cutter Gauthier over here, that's awesome. And Rizzo, too's done really good. Denver Barkley's done really good in the OHL. So is Oliver Bonk. Michkov has had a little bit of struggles, but Michkov I'm not worried about. He's still a few years away. So I didn't even write Michkov down in my notes because he's not necessarily a right now factor. But I'm not really concerned. Would it be great to get a guy like Celebrini? Would it be great to get a guy like Demidov? Sure, it would be awesome to get a guy like him. It would be awesome to help out our defense like that. But I think right now, we're fine. We really are fine. And then, as well as I said, too, it's only Christmas. It's not like I'm making this video in March and they clinched a playoff spot. It's Christmas. They can still very well, and it's the Flyers, so I really would not be surprised if this happens, but they really could fall off a cliff and fall below the playoff line, especially too in a very competitive Metropolitan and Eastern Conference. Like it's more than possible. It's almost likely for the Flyers to do that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying they will, but it's likely they would. And given from past experience, they could. But if we do, it's not a bad thing either, because then we fall to where we were supposed to be. And as well as that too, Briere has more options then. There isn't really a wrong answer here either for him. If he wants to sell when we're in the playoffs, go ahead, sell. We weren't expected to be a playoff team anyways. If we fall below and then he sells, I won't be mad either. I won't be mad either, because we got to sign guys like Sean Walker. We got to sign guys like Garnet Hathaway. Owen Tippett's an RFA this year. Morgan Frost is an RFA this year. If we wanted to move Sean Walker, or if we wanted to move like Hathaway or some of our interesting secondary scoring players, or guys that really could get us a lot on the market, go ahead, by all means. I would not have a problem with it. I would root for those guys on the teams they go on to, because this team has been so fun to watch this season that honestly I wouldn't be mad no matter what they do come the deadline. The only thing that I might be mad at a little bit is if we try and like aggressively buy in. If Briere looks at this and says, "Oh yeah, we got to buy in all the way," and pulls a Chuck Fletcher and goes down and gets some horrible player that we don't need on our roster and gives up a lot for him. Like, unless if we do that, I won't be mad at what Briere does this deadline. I truly won't be. Like, I have enjoyed watching this team so much that I honestly don't mind it at all. But last but not least, I want to look at the draft picks we have for the 2024 draft. As of right now, if Briere goes out, makes moves at the deadline, then we probably will have more. But as of right now, these are the picks we have. So we have 2 first-round picks this year. One is ours. One is from the Florida Panthers. Both, if we both make the playoffs, which is looking like we will, they'll probably be mid to late first-rounders. Probably in the 20s, most likely. And I'm not mad at that either. We can use those to get other players or other assets. We have 2 second-round picks. One is ours. One's Columbus, I believe. We have 1 third, 1 fourth, 1 fifth, 2 sixths. One of them is the St. Louis pick that we got in the Kevin Hayes deal, and then 1 7th-round pick. So with those things, I'm not really mad. I really wouldn't be mad at with that amount of draft picks. And I mean, hey, it's looking like it could be another deep draft this year. So that's good news for us. And I mean, hey, I've trusted Briere before. He can pick up a really big stud. And I mean, he got one with Massimo Rizzo, so I'm not saying he won't with either of them. And he picked Mixcoff too, and he picked Oliver Bonk. I am really liking the way this Flyers team looks right now. And if you asked me that at this time last season at the Christmas mark, I don't know if I would have said the things I'm saying right now. Truly honest. So yeah, that'll do it for this video. I think that when you look at it from, the surface, you say, yeah, it's affecting us. Like, we're not going to do much in the playoffs, and we're not getting a really high draft pick that we wanted. But when you look at it more in depth, like, yeah, it affects us from that standpoint, but we still have a lot of options. And as well as this too, it increases the trade value on those players that we may want to move at the deadline. So you got to factor those things in too. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. This is a very long video. I already know Flyers videos are going to be longer for me because this is my team. This is the team that I watch the most out of all the teams in the National Hockey League. So yeah, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button down below. I greatly appreciate it. But anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. 2 more days till Christmas. Hope you all are having a happy holidays. But yeah, I'll see you guys next one. Adios.